So whether you're just starting out with your tutoring business or you've been doing it for a while now, I think we can all benefit from some good tools. And what I mean by tools, I mean apps and things that we can use in this digital space of online tutoring. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing some useful tools that I've used over the years as being a tutor or, being in this tutoring game. So because of the accountant nerd I am, I decided to divide this video into 3 parts. Because, who doesn't like the number 3? The first part is going to be about planning and organization. The second part is going to be about teaching. And the last part is going to be about assessment and quizzes. But let's get into this video. The first app that I suggest you using is Notion. Now, Notion is good for a variety of things. I use it in my daily life. I use it to journal. I use it to do a lot of things. So the first thing you can do is creating worksheets for your children. And that is great because it's like a supplementary thing. I'm not going to explain why making worksheets is good. All of you guys are probably teachers and stuff. I'm not. But that's what I found it to be useful for. The second thing is you can create digital notes. Now, I know there's quite a frenzy these days about like saving paper and trying to go digital. So Notion is web-based. That means that you can log in from anywhere in the world. And because I'm an accountant, I wouldn't forget about this one. The classic Excel and Word. So Excel is great for creating templates, especially if you want to perhaps do maths or accounting with someone. But the one I would say that Notion can replace is Microsoft Word. And the reason I say is because Microsoft Word it's just for writing. I don't know if I'm wrong with this because I haven't had much experience. What I feel with Microsoft Word is like literally all you do there is you use like a blank page. You can even do it up your notes, like in Apple Notes. It's the same thing literally. So we're missing one important factor. Can you guys guess what it is? If you guess that right, it is a calendar. You need to be able to schedule appointments with your students and plan appointments of when their classes are going to be. One of the best apps that I feel that will tie in so well with the other apps I'm going to mention later in the video is Google Meets. Google Calendar is cool because you're going to see later in the video, you can attach other things to it as well. And you can schedule someone and add them as a recipient if they've got their email address. And it automatically sends them an email. So next up is the teaching part of it. Okay, and this is where you teachers are gonna go insane. I know. So first of all, I'm gonna say the absolute winner. This is taking into consideration that most people have an Android device or even an Apple device. This works so well with the previous thing that I mentioned. Right, so the first one I'm gonna show you guys is Google Classroom. You'll see now why I chose Google Classroom. It is such a good app. So you go in and then you have your stream. Obviously you can add another class. For example, here's one of my classes that I give. Hi there, B44, whatever that means. Then you can obviously share your class with the email address, add attachments maybe, if you want to perhaps put a document down or whatever you want to do there. So on the app, there's something called a subscribe button, and it would be good if your finger would just caress that subscribe button for me. Then something else you can do is you can put classwork. And what it means by classwork is you can give an assignment, quiz, question or material that you want to give. And then obviously you're going to be able to see that. And then here you add your students. Then you invite them and you send them the link. Obviously they need an email address for this to be able to use it, okay? Then to teach, you're going to use Google Meets. And Google Meets I use for business meetings as well. I use for other things. But you can use it as something that you're going to give class on. There is something else that I did a bit more research on, and that is Apple Classroom. Now, I tried to download it on my Apple device, but it didn't download. It said that my phone wasn't compatible with it. So I don't know if that'll maybe change because if you're using an Android device or whatever. And then also something I thought about that I never use but I thought would be useful is YouTube. And YouTube is a great platform even if you don't want to post anything on it, because it lets you store large video files on it. So even with YouTube, if you don't want to upload a video, you're afraid someone might judge you for one or another reason, it is a valid fear, then I would suggest then just setting it as private so that no one sees it, and you just send an invite link to your students. And the last category, which is quizzes. Now quizzes is a difficult one. You can do a lot of different variants, but like I showed you, Google Classroom is like one of the best ones because you can combine all of it together. But apparently online there is something else. It's called Quizalize. Basically, Quizalize can be used as a pre-assessment tool, whatever that means for you educators. So I know you might be having some questions about this tutoring thing, and if you're new or you already started with it, I made a great video about explaining basically the ins and outs of starting a tutoring business in this year. If you'd like to watch that, it's going to be be up here. But if you'd like to watch one of my other videos, I'm gonna link it up here. But I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.